We are on live. Yes. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm going to give a few seconds for hop-ons. I hopped on early to make sure everybody could find the link and get in here. I'm going to play some tunes for you guys, but hopefully not so super loud while we wait. I love this song. I'm super obsessed with it. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. So say hi if you're hopping on. I do have the chat box open for you guys to ask questions or just write me so that I can know if you have any questions or need any help or clarification as we go along. This song makes me want to dance. So if you're just joining us and you're like, I don't know what's going on, I somehow ended up on this link. Welcome, my name is Shakti, and I'm sorry for the kind of crappy quality of the screen. I'm on my computer. My computer's extremely old, but really faithful. So I need the slides that I have prepared for you guys, so that's why I'm on it versus being on my phone, which is what I would usually do. So tonight we're going to talk about vision boarding, which is really exciting. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. It's one of my favorite things to do at the beginning of the year to get prepared for the rest of the year. And if you've never made a vision board, welcome. You're going to have a lot of really amazing tools to be able to create a really well put together vision board. Because for me, my biggest struggle with vision boarding was like, okay, so people cut out pictures from magazines or they like draw pictures. And I was always like, okay, I'm not gonna go buy a crap ton of magazines, then cut out all these things out of them. And I'm also not like at the level of artistic talent where I feel like I could accurately portray what I want on my vision board. So none of that really worked for me. And so I was kind of stuck in this place like, well, I don't know how to make my vision board then, because those were the only models that I had for me until I discovered this that I'm going to teach you guys tonight. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, wait, vision boarding is so easy. This is great. And I actually have someone who might be joining us tonight. I don't know, Angie. She made a vision board with the last tutorial I gave, and it came out absolutely gorgeous, and it just looks amazing, and she was so thrilled with it, and that's what I want each of you guys to have by the end of tonight. So I do expect in the event for you guys to share some images of the collages that you make that I'm going to teach you how to make so I can celebrate them with you. Hey, thanks for hopping on. I already see people checking in the chat box. So great. Hopefully you're enjoying the tunes as well. It's almost 9. Please share this out. If you have people that you can share this link with, share it out. The more, the merrier. Vision boarding is super, super important for goal setting and for just being able to look at your year with intention. I feel like too often we just like kind of go through our year and we're like, oh, we get to the end of it and we're like, I didn't do anything I wanted to do. Or I just had the exact same year I had the year before. You know, nothing ever changed. And it's because we didn't have intention. We weren't deliberate with moving through our year. So the idea of making a vision board is that you're being really, really deliberate with what you're putting out so that you can see a return. And by the end of the year, when you're looking back, you're not like, nothing happened. You're like, oh my gosh, look at all these things I did. And of course, you're going to have markers that you missed, but the point is that you want to hit some of them. So it's better to hit some and miss some than hit none. Feel me? So that's what we're going to work on. Hi, Tracy. Thanks for hopping on. I'm just playing some really random music. I've been in like dance music mode like all day long. Okay, so it is officially 9 o'clock, so we're going to jump into the slides. I'm going to share my screen really quick. It's going to look really weird when I share the screen, and then it'll settle. So if you guys cannot see the screen, please let me know in the chat box if you're having an issue seeing my slides, because we kind of had a minor issue the last time I did a webinar. So first of all, if this is your first time hopping on and seeing me, my name is Shakti. I'm a metaphysician. I'm a health and fitness coach. I work in both of these realms of the material and the spiritual. So pretty much my goal is to help give you guys all the material and spiritual tools I possibly can so that you can have an excellent life experience and hit all of those soul goals that I know each of us have. So that is my primary mission with everything that I do. And tonight we're going to be talking about vision boarding for your year, which is one of the activities I do every single year, typically before the year is done for the next year. This time I did it in January. And I'm still kind of finishing my board. I haven't completely finished it, but hopefully this will give me some fresh inspiration. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. You're gonna see some like real weird stuff happening, and then we're gonna jump right into what I'm talking about. Okay, so there it goes, being like super, super weird. And here is my slide. So I'm not going to be able to do like a really large presentation just because it'll take me away from seeing the chat box. But can you guys see just like, you can kind of see the slides on the side. Can you generally see the slides? Yep, you can. So I'm looking at the screen and you can actually see the slides, which is super great. Yes, everybody can see the slides. Hi, Jamie. Thanks for hopping on. Yes, yes. Okay. I just wanted to check in YouTube and see that it was working. All right. So I'm going to go through the slides, and at some point, I'm going to stop and pop in and check over there and make sure you guys can see me. But I just wanted to briefly see if it was showing up, and it was. Okay, so again, welcome to the 2018 Vision Board Party. I am your host, Shakti Rios. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me at shakti@shaktirios.com, or you can find me at facebook.com/spiritfitshakti, which is my brand. You can also find me on Instagram at spiritfitshakti. So anywhere those places you can follow me. So welcome, welcome. First things first, let's do a little meditation because it's just not the same without meditation, shall we? So first and foremost, I want you guys to take a second to get some clarity around like why you're even here, right? Like, why did you decide to hop onto this vision boarding event? Why do you want to make a vision board? What is it about your life that is prompting you to make this vision board? And let's get some clarity. And a lot of times clarity comes in the silence. So I'm going to dedicate a couple of moments to that. So right now, I just want you to go ahead and close your eyes and take a few really deep grounding breaths and just get kind of still where you are in this moment. See if you can be in a quiet space where there's very little distraction so you can actually participate in the meditation and get the kind of stillness that I'm encouraging you guys to have. So go ahead and close your eyes and just get still. Just get still. Give you really cleansing deep breaths and just connect with the sensation of the breath in your nose. Breath coming in through your nose, breath leaving the body via your nose. And in this moment, I just want you guys to do really like free-flowing thoughts coming into your mind. So when I say something, I just want you to kind of go with the first things that come to you, and then we'll kind of flesh that out. But I want you to think of 6 distinct themes that you want to work on in 2018. 6 distinct themes that you want to work on in 2018. Relationships, work, finances, traveling, whatever they are. Think of the first 6 that come into your mind that you feel need your attention in 2018. These 6 themes will pertain to the work that you're going to do on your board. So just take a second to be with them. Make sure there's resonance too when you come up with the 6 or when you think of the 6. Like when you think of it, you're like, ah, yes, that resonates. That's what we're going for. Check the chat box real quick. Okay, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. You can come back into your current time and space, and you now have your 6. So I want you to get a sheet of paper down, and I want you to write down the 6 things that came to you during that moment of stillness that you had for yourself. And leave some space underneath each of those 6 themes or segments of your life that you'd like to work on. Okay. So for each of your 6, I want you to ask yourself some questions, and then I want you to do a little activity. So first of all, I want you to go through each of those 6 and ask yourself, what do I want to feel in this area of my life? Okay, what is the feeling that I want in this area of my life? And I'll give you an example of what I mean. Oftentimes when we say something like, I want a soulmate relationship, or I want 6 figures in the bank, or whatever that is, not oftentimes, all the time, whenever we say that, it's because we're actually wanting to feel something we imagine we'll feel when we have that thing. So like when we have a soulmate, we imagine we'll feel deeply comforted, secured, loved, seen. When we have 6 figures in the bank, we imagine we'll feel calm, prepared, secure, right? There are feelings that come with what we are wanting to accomplish. So what I want you to identify for each of your 6 is what are the feelings that are primary for you in each of those areas. And you can quickly jot them down. They shouldn't be very hard to identify. You should pretty much know, like, oh, when I think of blank, I feel blank. When I think of already having a soulmate, I feel blank. When I think of already having this kind of business, I feel blank, right? And then what are the elements of importance? Sorry, I got ahead of myself. What are the elements of importance for each area? Sort of are the same thing as what is the feeling. It's another way of saying the same thing. So I'll give you an example. Parenting was on my board for last year. My relationship it was more like as a family unit. Like I had a little board I made for the family. So something that was really important for me as a family was connection and communication. So I put that on my board as one of the elements of importance because that's something I really wanted to write into my affirmation, which is the next step. So identifying the feelings of what you want to feel and the elements of importance are kind of could be synonymous, but they also have some kind of small differences. Then the final thing is design an affirmation for each one of your 6. So I think one of the ones that I had, like for my marriage, was my marriage is sexy, strong, connected, and intimate, or something like that. You know, what is an affirmation that feels good to you to say about that part of your life? My business is constantly thriving, full of the right people, and brings me tons of joy. My family is connected, open, honest, and extremely loving with one another. I easily take care of myself. You know, whatever it is that your area is, and it doesn't have to be right now, but think of an affirmation that feels good to you, that rings true for you, and that incorporates the feeling words that you identified in the first exercise and the elements of importance in the second one. So you kind of want to design an affirmation around those 2. I'm going to check back real quick, see if anybody has any questions. Nothing so far. Great. Okay. So the end result, this was what my board looked like in mid-2017. I'm going to actually do well, never mind. I don't want to mess with the screen. So you see how I have, this is a regular whiteboard, right? Just like any other presentation board, but it's comprised of separate collages. And this is what I'm going to teach you how to make so that you can have a board that looks cohesive like this. Okay. So I'm going to come up here to this little tab. I'm going to click here. This is called Canva, www.canva.com. Okay. Canva is a free tool. Anybody can have access to it if you have an email address. And it's an amazing design template. As you can see, I designed pretty much all my templates on here for things that I did. This is something I did for my vision board actually recently that I wanted to show you guys. So I wanted to put words all over my vision board. So one of the things that I did is I got a white sheet, which I'll show you how to pull that up, and I wrote down all the words and the reminder, how do I want to feel, that I wanted to put on my board. This is very, very helpful for getting organized. So this is all the ones I've made. So if you're going to create a brand new design, you're going to click create a design right here. And it's going to show you a bunch of different things you can create. Now, these are recommended for me because this is what I use the most. So it's smart. It remembers what you've used prior, and it just kind of automatically saves them for you. Are you making a social media post or a Facebook event cover or email header or US letter? These are already sized, which is brilliant. So here you have a bunch of social media post options. Here you have a bunch of documents, blogging and ebooks. You can even make a book cover, CD cover, blog banner, marketing materials. I mean, you can literally make event cards, anything here, ads. It's so brilliant. It's so brilliant as a creation tool and free. Again, can't stress that enough. So what I did, because I was creating, I wanted to create paper-sized collages that would fit on this board. And I said 6 themes because there's actually 6 slots on a poster-sized board for you to put collages, so you could fill the whole board. But you can do as many as you want. You want to come here to US letter. It's under documents. This is a standard letter size. You're going to click on it. It's going to open a new tab. And it's going to already have it sized for you. So whatever you add to this sheet is going to, when you print it, look exactly like what you create. Okay. Questions so far? No. Okay, going back to my screen. All right, here you have your sheet of paper, and here you have a bunch of like Canva layouts. So some of them are free, some of them you have to pay for, but the free ones say free on the corner, and the ones you have to pay for have $signs. So you have some templates that you can use. You also have a huge image gallery that you can put here. So let's say one of the things I wanted to work on was travel. I want my board to be travel. So I'm going to type travel here. Here are a bunch of free photos of travel. So let's say, I really like this image a lot. I love this airplane image. You can just kind of click on the image and drag it about. You can do anything you want to this image. You can change the shape and size. You can crop it. You can put a filter on it. You can make it a little bit more transparent. It's just magical. And then what else? Let's say you really want to travel to like a paradise, right? You want to go to water. I'm a really big sunrise person, so I'm super luxury. Like, where do you want to travel, right? So start, you know, finding images. Let's see if I can find more specific images. Like, I really want to go to India. Am I like, for sure, I want to go to India. So what can you find in their gallery? Oh, beautiful. Okay. So if you have specific places you want to travel to, you can use their gallery. Now, you're not just restricted to what you can get here in their gallery, okay? You can actually go to, I'm going to come here. I'm going to just Google India images. And it's going to pull up a whole bunch of images of India. So you could literally just like go to images, download any one of these images. Right, I'm just going to do it to show you guys. Save this image as. Give you an idea. I'll just show you this to you one time so that you can figure out how to do it for yourself. It's the same process every single time. I just want to show it to you one time. So it's saved down here, right? So then I'm going to come back here. I'm going to go where it says uploads. And I'm going to drag this here. I have that drag option. It's going to upload the image that I found. And then you just click and drag it onto your page. Boom. Magic. You can resize it. I like this picture better than the original one I chose. I don't like this one anymore. Go this and get rid of it. So that's a quick way for you to upload, and then your whole library gets saved. So any images you found that you love that you uploaded will all stay here. And you can just play with making them like that, right? So again, you can, gosh, you can do so much. Let me see what else. New Zealand is another place I want to go. I'm just going to share with you all the places I want to be. Oh my gosh, I mean, who doesn't want to go there? Let's get serious right now. Are you kidding? How gorgeous is that? Lord Jesus. Okay, where else do I want to go? What was on my board? Oh, Greece was definitely on my board. Just gonna give you a real, oh my God, look at that water. Like, get out of here. That doesn't even look real. Okay, sorry, I'm done now. So you could do cool, fun things like, for example, arrange this to the back so that, you know, depending on what you'd like to overlap, you can get kind of creative so it looks sort of staggered. And then you can leave the white space and add text. So up here, I just want to show you, you already know what this is. Background will give you any color background or patterning you want if you wanted to add a pattern. I don't. I like white because I like to add words and I like them to stand out, but you can play with this all day long. Text, when you come here. So here the text option is very interesting because it gives you sort of combinations of text that already look stylistically really good. Or you can just, these are the ones I use the most, so they just automatically save them. But, you know, you click on it, it'll give you 3 types of text to use. And let's, I really liked doing, like, I did this one for a board. Like, you can put the word travel in there. And then you can, sometimes you can make it bolder, sometimes you can't. If you come here in spacing, you can actually change the letter spacing, which is really cool. One of my favorite features to play with. Like another word that comes to me when I think of travel is freedom, right? So I'm gonna tuck this one in here and drag it. And guys, this is so intuitive and so easy to work with. Like, it really is. And it's really fun. Like, you can get so creative in a way that you really could not get if you were trying to do this all by hand, you know. So, I mean, unless you're like an insanely talented artist, which I'm sure many of you watching this are. But I'm not, so I depend on technology to get me through. I want to do the same thing here and then give it a little bit of spacing because letter spacing is life, as I've mentioned. And so it'll do that. So then you just have to like open up the box because you have to give it some space to. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, so are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? Like, look how cool this. I want to print this now and put this on my board. This is just like an example, and I'm like in love with it. Anybody? Yes. You guys are vibing? You're feeling what I'm picking up, putting down? Okay, so once you're done, you could add another image here, but I suggest putting more words here because that just stylistically looks so beautiful. I would love to see that on there. Like a quote would be really nice here. You can type up a traveling quote or a freedom quote, which would be so cool. Then when you're done, you're going to file, save what you've created. And it's going to show up again. I'm using Google Chrome. So Chrome, which I love, the browser bar just saves everything down here. So you save it and then you want to download it. So here's where it's important because depending on what you want to do with it, you're going to want to save it as a different format. But because you want to print it to put it on a board, you want to make sure it's PDF format and then you're going to download it. Okay. Until you hold tight, it's going to have a quote. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. I love that quote. Take that one put that one on your board for your professional life. That's a good quote for a board. So it's gonna load, it's gonna save, and in my case, it's gonna upload right here. So it's gonna tell you your design is ready for downloading and you can do all these things with it, which is real neat. And then if you just click on it and open it, it's gonna open as a PDF. It's gonna tell you like where it's stored on your computer. And then you're going to see it, and it's going to be exactly like you want it to print. It's going to look, when you print it, it's going to look perfect. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and grab one of the ones that I printed so I can show it to you. All right, so this is basically how Canva works. It's extremely simple and intuitive. You can do anything you want with it. You can make every single one of your boards like this. And when you're done, it saves them all for you. So when you click on Canva and you go back, to like the main site, let's say, it'll start saving all of your design elements down here. So you actually can go back to them and revisit them and do whatever you want to do with them. So here it's generating my travel board that I just made because it automatically puts it into this queue. So that is how I make my board. And I do that for all 6 areas of my life. And then I have them printed and I put them together. So I'm going to stop sharing because I want to be able to show you guys something. Hey, there I am. Okay, so this is what it looks like printed. So I made one for my business. I have multiple businesses, so this is for my fitness business specifically. And I actually wrote an affirmation into this bottom image, right? So I made it, I like complete collages where there's no white space, but that travel one I made was super dope. So I recommend playing with that. And I wrote the affirmation right on here, and then it prints perfect. I mean, it's the perfect dimensions for what you need. So that's basically it. It's very easy to do. It's very quick. It's fun, and it allows you to be creative without feeling like you have to come up with, yeah, the tool is rad, Tracy. I'm just seeing your response right now. It's just so easy to create, and you don't have to be like a master artist. You could just really easily create a beautiful visual that doesn't take a ton of time, but comes out really beautiful and cohesive. So that's it. I mean, that's how I create my vision board every single year, and it's really fun and easy. You just have to take a little bit of time and play with all the little, you know, adjustment tools and cropping and filters, and eventually you'll nail it. It's really simple. So anybody have any questions before I hop off? I feel like that was so fast. I didn't realize that that would be so quick, but it was. It was great. I don't see any questions in the chat box. It seems like everybody pretty like gathered what was going on. So I'm going to leave you with that. You guys have a really fun time playing with your vision boards. Please comment on the event and share your vision board, or comment here on YouTube in the comments and leave your vision board if you created one with this tool. I'd love to see what you guys are creating and what you're making come alive with your dream boards. So again, my name is Shakti. You can find me at shakti@shaktirrios.com if you want to email me, or facebook.com/spiritfitshakti. You can also find me at spiritfitshakti as my handle on Instagram. If you want to connect and kind of follow my live videos or tutorials or events that I do like this. We do have an upcoming book club, which is really exciting for the month of February. So if you're catching this live or in January, starting February 1st, I am hosting a 28-day book club around a book called The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard, which is an amazing, amazing book. So if you're into the metaphysical and into the mystical in general, you're going to want to be a part of this event for sure. You can contact me on how to get you connected to that event. So again, I love you guys. Have a great night. Have fun, and happy 2018 dreaming. Bye.